5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
Tonight, condolences pouring in for the family of a Marine from Belleville just days after the aircraft crash that took her life. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. Captain Eleanor LeBeau was 29 years old. Tonight, 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay joins us in studio after learning more about the Metro East native. Mercedes.
Mike and Ann, we got in touch with LeBeau's family yesterday, but they aren't ready to talk yet because of this tragedy. Growing up in the Metro East, LeBeau graduated from Althoff Catholic High School in Belleville back in 2012. Now her community is mourning the loss of one of their own heroes.
My heart goes out to Captain LeBeau's family and her tragic loss in Australia.
At just 29 years old, Captain Eleanor LeBeau had already made her hometown proud. Joining the Marine Corps in 2018, LeBeau was quickly recognized as a leader and was promoted to captain this past March. Within just 5 years in the Marines, she received the National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, and the Sea Service Deployment Ribbon.
Their service means so much, and they give sometimes the ultimate sacrifice, like Captain LeBeau.
The hero was one of 3 Marines killed in a crash off the coast of Australia Sunday. It happened during a multinational military training exercise. A Marine spokesperson says LeBeau was co-piloting an Osprey aircraft. Other politicians weighed in Tuesday, including Representative Mike Bost, who said in part, Captain Eleanor LeBeau will be greatly missed by the community she dedicated her life to protect. 20 others survived the crash, and as of Tuesday morning, 1 Marine was in critical condition and 2 were stable at a hospital. While the cause of the crash is still under investigation, the Metro East community wants those who loved and cared about LeBeau to know.
We need to do everything we can to support her family and friends that are obviously dealing with her tragic loss.
A GoFundMe has been created for LeBeau's family, as well as the other families of the 2 Marines who lost their lives as well. If you'd like to help those families out, we have a link to the GoFundMe on our website, KSDK.com, under the As Seen on TV section.
Tonight, we have new details about 2 separate homicides in North St. Louis County. First, police found a man dead in the street, and just minutes later, they found a woman dead inside an apartment. That apartment complex is in the 9500 block of Glen Owen Drive. The man was killed in the 4600 block of Whisper Lake Drive. Those locations are just 15 minutes apart. 5 on your side, Travis Cummings is live outside the St. Louis County PD precinct in North County to explain what happened. Travis.
And just hours ago, police announced the names of those victims. One is 45-year-old Frederick Gett. The other is 25-year-old Kayla Patterson. And we did revisit those areas to see if we could learn more about what happened there. People in the community were reluctant to talk. 2 separate shootings in North St. Louis County made for a busy Monday night and Tuesday for investigators.
Shooting in Ferguson, 1820, Bahama Court.
The commotion you're hearing in Ferguson got turned over to St. Louis County PD. Police say 45-year-old Frederick Gett was walking with another person around 8:45 on Monday night on Glen Owen Drive when they were approached by 2 men in masks. They stole a purse and fatally shot Gett in the chest. We did spot a multi-angle camera at the intersection where this happened and went inside the leasing office at Park North Apartments to ask a few questions. A staff member said the cameras did belong to them but wouldn't comment any further.
In Blackjack, 4645, Whisper Lake Drive.
About 15 minutes away from that location, police say 25-year-old Kayla Patterson was shot just before 9 o'clock and died. It happened on Whisper Lake Drive at the Whispering Lake Apartments. We saw investigators searching for evidence outside of the building where the young woman was found. There are cameras at businesses near the apartment complex as well, but the business with the best view would not comment. Now, we have sent a list of follow-up questions to St. Louis County PD. We will alert you when we learn more about what happened inside of these cases. In the meantime, if you know anything that can help solve these cases, just call Crime Stoppers. The number is 866-371-TIPS. We're live in North County tonight. Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
Tonight, there's a new effort to protect Missouri cities from floods in the future. We've learned 3 St. Louis County communities will receive millions in funding from FEMA. 5 on your side's Diamond Palmer is live in University City, where 3 buildings at the Hafner Court Apartments are eligible for these buyouts, and Diamond has information about how much money the city is receiving. Diamond.
Good evening, Mike and Ann. Well, University City is set to receive $3.2 million in federal funding to demolish 3 buildings here on Hafner Court. And FEMA says that's because they've received repetitive loss when it comes to flooding. Now, earlier we talked to the city's planning director, and he says they're just one of hundreds of buildings that had damage in last July's flooding.
Devastating flooding hit St. Louis a year ago. University City, one of those cities with dozens of homes condemned as a result. Now the city is receiving funding from FEMA to fix some of those issues.
It's just one step in the process, and we hope there's several more down the road.
Dr. John Wagner, the director of planning and development for University City, says they'll receive millions in federal funding for 3 buildings at Hafner Court Apartments. Wagner says the city has been working on another federal grant that would cover 25% of the cost of demolition for the 4th building and 12 homes on Wilson Avenue. However, the timeline for demolitions could vary because of the work that has to be done before.
All the title work, all the closing costs, and they would, and FEMA would then make an offer to the owner of the apartments, and assuming he would take that, and then we proceed with the demolition. And at that point, it becomes perpetual green space for the city.
In addition to University City, the city of Ladue will receive $3.6 million, and Webster Groves set to receive $580,000 from FEMA.
The intent and the purpose of these grant funds is to make communities more resilient. So the fact that these particular properties were in flood-prone areas, they were in the National Flood Insurance Program, but had repetitive loss.
Wagner says there are specific plants that could be solutions for future flooding.
Wildflowers, natural prairies provides a nice buffer in soaking up some of the stormwater.
Now, FEMA says this process is all voluntary, meaning the property owners here on Hafner Court would have to agree to sell their property for it to become a green space. And hearing from the planning director here in the city, he says the owners here are actually helping out with the application process. Reporting live in University City, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
Well, it's official. Less than 3 hours ago, Governor Mike Parson signed the Showmo ACT into law in Chesterfield at the brand new Gateway Studios site.
The law is paving a new path for the entertainment industry in Missouri. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski was there for the big moment, and she is live. Laura.
Well, Mike and Ann, you've probably wondered what these big concrete buildings are, and I can tell you they are the future entertainment and music production spaces that they hope will bring in more talented acts. Gateway Studios hopes these spaces will continue to bring names like Taylor Swift, Beyonce, who are currently on multi-billion-dollar tours, with the Showmo Act, also known as the Entertainment Industry Jobs Act, officially signed into law. Entertainment companies will have a tax credit to come here, and the artists in return have to play 2 shows in the state.
I don't know why we have to go places to find entertainment, or we got to go other places to make movies or to put on shows when we have everything any other state has to offer right here in Missouri. And that's why this piece of legislation is so important.
This legislation is a significant step forward in allowing Missouri to compete on an equal playing field with other states and create hundreds, if not thousands, of new high-paying jobs.
Gateway Studios hopes to open these brand new production spaces by next spring. Really exciting, and I'll have more coming up tonight at 10. Reporting live in Chesterfield, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.